All right, well, you might run into a couple of problems, not unlike problem 1, problem 2 in this section that I call reformatting the confidence intervals, because confidence intervals can be represented in a couple of different forms, and it's not real important to know how to go back and forth here, but it's simple enough. It's just a little bit of algebra. This is the only part of the course that's got any algebra in it whatsoever. So if you're starting to feel some constriction in your throat because of your algebra skills, not to worry, we're going to be in and out of this pretty quickly. So problem 1 says, here's a confidence interval. It's in this sort of standard form. We've got these two inequalities jammed together. Let's reformat it into this form right here. Here's how you do it. It's quite simple. Recognize that that is P, in this case we're using as an example, we're using a proportion. So recognize that is P prime minus E and that is P prime plus E. Let's just write that down. Okay, let's write it down twice. So the right hand side is P prime plus E, and that's equal to 0.186. And the right hand side is P prime minus E, and that's equal to 0.0641. Let me write that down over here, because we're going to do two separate problems here. Try to pretend that that's a plus sign for me, would you? What am I doing? I'm trying to write this down 2 times. 186, and again, P prime minus E is equal to 0.0641. Okay, draw a line under those, and let's add up both of these equations. Let's add P prime to P prime and get 2P prime. Let's add E to minus E and get 0. Let's add these two things together. And because it's late in the afternoon, let's do that with a good calculator, okay? 0.186, 0.0641. And add those together, I'm going to get 0.250.2501. And then I'm going to solve for P prime. And P prime is 1/2. If I divide both sides by 2, I get 0.125. Well, if I'm trying to turn this into this, I'm halfway done because I've just found P prime. Let me come over here to this set of equations now and subtract this equation from this equation. When I subtract P prime from P prime, I get 0. When I subtract minus E from E, I get 2E. I know, it seems strange. But let's now take 1.86 and subtract 0.0641. When I do that, I get 0.1219, and when I divide both sides by 2, I get 0.610. Right? Yeah. So what am I looking for? I have just changed this format to the following format: 0.150 plus or minus 0.125 plus or minus 0.610. That's P prime plus or minus E. Okay? And that's problem 1. We're going to do exactly the same thing in problem 2. Problem 2, again, has a format in this manner in which the lower bound of the confidence interval is given, the upper bound is given, and we'd like to expressly show this in this, really essentially the same form as this. We're going to do exactly the same thing. We're going to recognize that that is P prime plus E, 0.133, and I'm going to write it twice because I just got that OCD thing going. And we're going to recognize that that is P prime minus E, the lower bound. Lower bound is P prime minus E, upper bound is P prime plus E, and that lower bound is 0.0268. And over here, same thing, 0.0268. So, let's add them both up. P prime plus P prime, I get 2P prime. E minus E, I get 0.133, 0.0268. Add them up, I get 0.1598. I'm going to divide both sides by 2. I'm going to get P prime is equal to 0.079. Let's leave it like that. Okay, and now over here, same thing, but I'm going to subtract. P prime minus P prime, 0, E minus minus E to E, and then 0.133, 0.0268. I'm subtracting them, I'm getting 0.1062, and I'm going to divide both sides by 2, and I'm going to get 0.053. All right, so I started with this form, and now I can write it in this form: 0.079 minus 0.053 is less than P. I just did it right, I did it right. Is less than 0.079 plus 0.053. That form to this form. Okay, we're going to leave those behind and get into some little stronger problems now. See you soon.